Namaste friends. My name is Devyani Ghosh and I teach yoga. I'm also interested into Sanskrit texts. Ancient wisdom that was there in those books still applies now, today, in this present age. Yoga is full of wisdom. So the two, Sanskrit texts and yoga wisdom, come together in DevYog Workshops Channel. What I plan to do is understand those words of wisdom from the past, merge those with the yoga principles and apply them in my life. And as I'm doing that, I realize that why should I leave it with me alone? Let me share it with all of you. If you are also keen to know more about those texts and what they contain, please subscribe to this channel so that the notifications will come to you if you also click on the bell icon. Welcome to a wonderful treasure trove of gems from the Sanskrit text. Let's explore today a beautiful Subhashitam. Subhashitam, Su in Sanskrit stands for good, Bhashita is what is spoken. So a well-spoken saying. Now these are typically two-liners found in the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. So what we do is they are just waiting to be picked up and explored. So that's what we'll do today. I've picked up a Subhashitam for you, which is just that two-liner, but it does not have one meaning as would usually be the case. It has actually four meanings. So it's actually a 4-in-1 Sanskrit verse for us. Now how's that? The verse goes like this. Daanena paanir natu kankanena snanena shuddhir natu chandanena manena triptir natu bhojanena jnanena muktir natu mundanena. So now we will explore each of these sub-phrases. Let's take the first phrase. Daanena paanir natu kankanena. Pani stands for hands in Sanskrit. What is the best adornment for hands? Would you say bangles? Bracelets? This verse says the correct and appropriate adornment for hands is giving with love to someone who needs it. That's how hands get adorned. It's something like a hand that gives the rose has a part of the fragrance lingering on it. Let's come to the second phrase. Talks of snanena shuddhir natu chandanena. This particular subphrase is actually talking about physical cleanliness. Physical cleanliness, it says, does not come from applying chandan, that's sandalwood. Just imagine if there's someone who day after day applies layers of sandalwood, pastes, herbs, ointments, perfumes of the most heavenly smelling odors, but does not take a bath. Can you imagine? So what this verse is saying is that one doesn't become physically clean by applying chandan. What it really requires is a proper bath where you actually wash off the impurities. And what really this verse is trying to say is, let us not get involved in the externals. Let us try to go within. Because if the body is kept clean with bathing, you just don't need these embellishments. You just don't need these. Phrase is saying, Manena triptir na tu bhojanena. Tripti, that's satisfaction. At one level, one is satisfied, one's appetite is satiated through food. But is that all? Is that satisfaction complete? This verse says that complete satisfaction comes from self-respect. If a person gets the physical, the gross elements for the body, it still doesn't guarantee the satisfaction, because he may not be having the respect for himself. And if you cannot respect yourself, how will you respect somebody else? That mutual feeling of respect can only come if a person has self-respect. That is what the finale says. Jnanena muktir natu mundanena. Mukti is freedom. In this case, it's talking of spiritual freedom, spiritual emancipation, spiritual enlightenment, freedom from bondage of the continuous cycle of life and death. Now, does that come from shaving off the head? Mundanena. In short, shaving of the head is a symbol of somebody on the spiritual path. It's not only shaving off the head, it could also be the kind of attire one wears, the kind of customs one has. But what this verse is saying, that itself, just for the outer world to know that you're on the spiritual path, is not enough. And not only not enough, it may not even be of any consequence, of any value, unless one has real knowledge, jnana. So it's the knowledge which is really going to help us progress on the spiritual path to enlightenment. Like talking about a table which from inside is rotting, and on top layers of polish and veneer are applied. Does that ensure that the table will last? No, this piece of furniture is going to rot away, because from inside it's so hollow, it's so empty. So really speaking, we cannot depend, or we do not, these outward embellishments, these gross cosmetics, or what we show to the external world is really of no consequence, no value. What really matters is what we are within. Let us all see all the verses together. Daanena paanir natu kankanena snanena shuddhir natu chandanena manena triptir natu bhojanena jnanena muktir natu mundanena. Just these two lines, and what immense knowledge, what immense wisdom that these two little lines have. This little Subhashitam is so beautiful. It can be really applied in our lives. Each of these sub-parts can be applied in our lives. So let's do a quick recap. Let us be engaged in acts of charity, in the real cleanliness of the body, and uplift ourselves through self-respect and spiritual, real knowledge. I also love to know your comments about this video, and what are your thoughts about each of these little areas that the verse refers to. So please write in your comments. Please do hit the like button. And if you think you have like-minded friends who would also benefit from this kind of knowledge, then please share this video with them too. And whatever these gems that we find in the oceans of knowledge, let us share those gems with them. Let them too find that treasure trove for themselves. Namaste to all.